everyone. Welcome to The Real Life. Today, I want to talk about someone that was really special in my life. For the most part, this person I really looked up to so much and respected. That person is my Grandpa J D Hughes. My grandpa would have been 80 years old this year, but his life was cut very short 12 years ago. And every day since then, I've missed him like crazy. But today, this episode is dedicated to him. So, here's my grandpa's story. On December 14th, 1935, in Geneva, Alabama, the proud parents of Jessie Mae and L.D. Hughes brought a baby boy into the world. His name would be J D Hughes. He would grow up in the hills and farmlands of Alabama, going to the school Bethlehem, which was a K-12 school. Growing up being a farmer's son, he would only make it to the 8th grade though. His dad told him that if he wanted to quit school, he would have to farm. So his daddy got him a mule and he became a farmer. Well, he then decided that he wanted to move to Jacksonville in 1955 to live with his brother. So he moved down to Jacksonville, Florida. While he was in Jacksonville, Florida, he began to write to his future love of his life, Mary Gilly. Mary says the first time she met him, she fell in love with him. They wrote each other for 6 months and only went out together twice. They would then get married on February 6, 1956. They got married at the Dothan, Alabama courthouse. After getting married, they decided to move back down to Florida again. After moving to Jacksonville, Florida, they had their first child a few years later. It was a baby girl. Then a few years later, they would have another girl. After that, they would welcome their firstborn son. Then after that, would be another baby girl. So altogether, they would have 4 children. Grandpa worked hard to support his family. Sometimes he would work 2 jobs to make ends meet. But through it all, he wanted to make a better life for his kids and his wife. Then as time went on, there would be grandchildren in the future. He was a proud grandfather and loved his grandchildren. He loved spoiling them and being around them. But also tragedy would strike. In 1981, their son would pass away by a tragic gunshot wound. Through that tough time, he tried to pull the family together. He was always the backbone of the family, but through all of his life, through the good times and the bad, you could always count on him to be there for you, no matter what. But years later, after losing his dad, and then his mom, not even 4 years after the death of his mom, he would have to go in for a routine knee surgery. Well, after the knee surgery, a few days later, Grandpa passed away from complications. That put a big void in our family. It was a big shock for all of us. We were not expecting that to happen. We never got to say our goodbyes. We never got to tell him what all we wanted to tell him. So at his funeral, I wrote a letter to my grandfather. And here is the actual letter and the actual what I said at the funeral.
Grandpa, when we were little, we looked up to you as this tall man with strength, courage, and wisdom, and knew we loved you very much. You were the backbone of the family. You were always there to listen and give us advice when we needed it. You've watched us grow up into adults and have seen us have children of our own, or just get started in our own lives. As a family, we all love you very much. As on February 15th, we all gathered around you as your body was tired of fighting and God was calling you home. While in the room, we couldn't see it, but one daughter saw what was happening. She was en route to the hospital and thought she was seeing things or going crazy. But Sarah, you weren't. God was calling you, Grandpa, home. Grandpa was leaving his tired, very weak body and fighting so hard to stay alive. He was walking towards God. Meeting him at the gate was Uncle James, his mom and dad, family and friends who have went before him, welcoming him to heaven. Even though as he turned and looked at all of us, he didn't want to leave us, but he knew we would be in good hands. Grandpa didn't want to leave you by yourself. I know in my heart when God was calling him home, he didn't want to go just yet. That's why he was fighting to stay alive. But I'm sure God reassured him you would be okay and called him to come home. I'm sure as he met Uncle James at the gate, he was so happy and knew that you would be in good hands. Even though you wouldn't have the chance to chase around the house like you wanted to here on earth, you will have that chase one day in heaven, Grandma. But until that day comes, Grandpa will be right beside you every day and every night. When you're tired and missing him so much, he will be there right beside you. He is now your new guardian angel watching over you. I'm sure if Grandpa could talk right now, he would say, Evelyn, thanks for 48 years. You made me so happy. I love you so much. Sorry I didn't keep my promise of coming back home with you and having our chase around the house, but I'm now going to be watching over you from above. James is here with me, and we both are going to be watching over you until the day comes to welcome you to heaven. Until then, know that we both love you and care about you so much. Thanks again for 48 wonderful years together, and one day we will be together again for eternity. Until then, this is not a goodbye, but see you later. To his daughters, Sarah, Jessie, Julie, I love you girls very much. I'm sorry for all the mistakes I made along the way in my life with you girls. I only wanted the best for you. I love you so much. You now have to take care of your mother. I can't be there in person to take care of her, but you girls will have to pick up where I left off. And Sarah, I want you to know, even though you weren't in the room when I was leaving this earth to go to heaven, I picked you to come to in a vision to let you know that I'm going to be alright. You weren't crazy, my dear. I love you girls so much. Thanks for everything you did for me. I'll be there in the wind at night when the moon is full and the stars are out. Look up to the heavens and there I will be. When it's cold outside, think of me and I'll warm your heart. When your feet are in the sand on the beach and the waves are crashing in on your feet, which will be me letting you know that I'm there. Girls, this is not goodbye, but see you later. Grandchildren, I love you, each and every one of you, very, very, very much. I wish you the best in life. Remember me. Remember our talks about the old days, the way I grew up in the woods, and how we farmed and had no electricity in our homes. Use this to let you know that a poor farm boy came from nothing to the city where he raised a family and made something of himself. He raised 4 children, and then came the grandchildren, and then the great-grandchildren. Remember, my grandchildren, I love all of you. And remember, just call me and I'll listen. You have a guardian angel now to help you lead your lives. And finally, to all my brothers, sisters, rest of my family, and friends, I love you all so much also. No matter what happened in our lives, I still love you. Remember, the good times, the laugh, the tears of joy, the tears of sorrow, the jokes, the kidding around. My life was good. I can't complain. You made me so happy. Never forget me. Even if my life was cut short, I'm in heaven now, looking at all of you. Don't cry, but be happy. I'm in a better place. Till I see you again, this is not the end of, or a goodbye, but a see you later until you come to heaven. Love you all. Remember, I'm watching over you. That's what Grandpa would have said. Grandpa, I love you so much. I hope you're having a good old time up there in heaven. You're in no more pain. Run as fast as you can. And no worries. Good night, Grandpa. Sweet rest. Rest in peace. We love you. I'll see you again one day. I'll meet you at the gate. Save me a spot. See you later. This is not a goodbye. Love you always. Chris.
So here was a small glimpse into my grandpa's life. Even though, as I said on the letter to him, that his life was cut short, he will never be forgotten. He will have been 80 years old this year. So, Grandpa, happy 80th birthday. I know you're in heaven right now. I know you're having a great time, but we all miss you down here. Grandma misses you. The whole family misses you. But we all love you. And I can't wait till the day that I get to see you again. But I really do love and miss you so very much. It's hard sometimes not having you here, but I know you're in a better place than we are. So everyone, thanks for watching. Remember to love and respect one another. Until next time, bye for now.